In a land where time is but a whisper in the desert winds, where the stars speak in riddles and the moon keeps ancient secrets, there once lived a people who carried stories like treasures hidden in the folds of night. Beneath the endless velvet skies of the east, where silken tents rise and fall like breaths of destiny, tales were not merely told, they were conjured, woven from firelight and shadow, sung by poets and whispered by wanderers. These stories survived the fall of kingdoms and the silence of time. Tonight the sands shift again, and an old door creaks open. A tale long forgotten stirs in its slumber, ready to be summoned, not read, ready to breathe again, not just remembered. So hush now, light the lantern, let the incense burn. For in this sacred hour of storytelling, you are no longer here, but there, in the time before time, in the world of wonders, in the age of 1001 nights, the tale begins. In the southern reaches of the great Amar Desert, where the sun burned crimson and the sands whispered forgotten secrets, there lived a spice merchant son named Ferris. His days were steeped in the heady aromas of saffron, cardamom, and myrrh, and his nights passed beneath star-scattered skies, listening wide-eyed to tales told by passing caravans. Some spoke of wind spirits, others of mountains that breathed fire, or wells that sang when the moon was full. But Ferris craved more than stories. He longed to live one. On the seventh night of the Sandwinds month, a great storm, thick with red dust and static, rolled across the dunes like an angry sea. Ferris, seeking shelter, wandered farther than ever before. He stumbled upon a jagged rock formation locals called Crimson Djinn, the heart of the Jinn. Most said it was cursed, home to 1,000 slumbering spirits. But Ferris, heart thrumming with reckless wonder, entered its hollow mouth. Inside, he lit a small fire with flint and dried fig leaves. The blaze sparked blue. Then it spoke. A voice as ancient as shifting dunes and as deep as the caverns beneath the earth rumbled through the cave. "Ferris, son of Idris, why have you disturbed my slumber?" Ferris froze. The fire twisted upward, contorting into a tall, flickering figure, crimson and gold, eyes molten and body made of dancing smoke. "I am Azar, the Crimson Djinn, bound by fire, freed only by fate. I didn't mean to," Ferris stammered. "I was only seeking shelter." Azar stared for a long moment, then said, "Few enter the heart and leave unchanged. Fewer still come seeking nothing. What is it you crave, young one?" Ferris, gathering courage, said, "A life greater than this. I want to matter. I want to walk where legends are born." Azar's flame swirled. "Then hear me, Ferris. I do not offer wishes, nor command the winds or seas. I offer knowledge, forgotten magic, buried cities, truths feared by even the stars. But in return, you must carry my tale, become my witness in a world that has forgotten flame and shadow." Ferris nodded. With a gesture, Azar traced a glowing map of ember and ash on the cave wall. "Seek the obsidian temple, where the first ember still burns. There, your path begins." As the storm died, Ferris stepped into a world forever altered. He wore a silver ring with the sigil of flame, Azar's mark, and carried the map etched in memory. His journey began with the ruins of Zahra al-Sauda, the Black Blossom City, swallowed by time and sand. Ferris walked through broken arches and shattered domes where vines of black glass curled along the walls. Deep beneath the ruins, he found the Ash Librarian, a tall, ash-skinned figure whose voice sounded like wind through dry reeds. "Speak truth, or be turned to dust." Ferris told the story of Azar. The librarian listened, unmoving, then opened a scroll that wept black ink. "You remember him. That is enough." He handed Ferris a shard of obsidian, warm to the touch, humming with silent language. Next came the Lake of Echoes, a still expanse surrounded by bleached statues of long-dead poets. The lake did not reflect the sky, but memories. As Ferris peered into its depths, he saw 1,000 versions of himself, some noble, some monstrous. A silent ferryman arrived, rowing with his hands alone. "What will you give to cross?" "My past," Ferris whispered. He cut a lock of his hair, the last memory of his merchant life. The ferryman accepted. As they crossed, the whispers of the drowned sang in languages never written. Ferris wandered for days into the jaws of Mirage, a canyon shaped like the open mouth of a beast. Shadows moved on their own. He survived by remembering Azar's words. Light exists only when shadow is born. Inside the canyon, Ferris was tested. Illusions of gold and glory tried to sway him, but he resisted, guided by the ember shard. Finally, atop a dune shaped like a crescent blade, he found the obsidian temple. It rose from the sand like a monolith of frozen night, angular, carved with sigils from forgotten alphabets. He entered as twilight cloaked the sky. Inside, heat pulsed from the walls, though no flame burned. The air shimmered. In the heart of the temple was a brazen brazier, blackened with age. Ferris placed the shard within. Flames roared to life, black and red, dancing like living memory. Azar's voice filled the chamber. "You have remembered me, and now I remember you." Ferris saw visions in the fire. Battles waged beneath copper skies, cities floating on clouds of ash, Djinn forging pacts with empires now, dust a great fire that once lit the entire world, now reduced to a flickering ember. A single scroll rose from the flames, wrapped in burning silk. It hovered before Ferris. The Crimson Djinn, Volume 1. As he emerged from the temple, dawn broke across the desert, but the sun seemed dimmer than the fire within him. Ferris's eyes glowed faintly, and embers danced. And so, as the final ember fades and the night exhales its last breath, the story returns to slumber, folded once more between the pages of silence and stars. What you've heard tonight is but a fragment of the East's boundless heart, a single echo in the grand chamber of legends, a whisper carried by the winds of ages, finding you now as it found others before and will find others still. Perhaps it is not the end, but a pause, for stories, like rivers, never truly stop. They only wait, curling into dreams, slipping into shadows, ready to return when the moon is high and the world is quiet once more. So close your eyes gently, but keep your heart ajar, for the tale will come again, maybe in another form, maybe with another name, but always with the same spirit. Until next time, beneath stars and silence, the tale rests.